a masterclass in bureaucratic gaslighting. What struck me most was the sheer, almost casual arrogance on display. The way one of the world's most powerful intelligence agencies was caught red-handed rewriting reality in the dead of night, then acted surprised when someone finally spoke up. James Erdman III, who led the coronavirus origins investigation inside the CIA's Directors Initiatives Group from 2025 to 2026, recently appeared before the Senate Homeland Security Committee. What he described was not mere incompetence. It was a calculated, multi-layered operation to bury uncomfortable truths. The witching hour rewrite. As late as August 16, 2021, 6 out of 7 members of the CIA's specialist COVID discovery team had formally assessed that the virus most likely came from a laboratory in Wuhan. Then came the midnight intervention. At approximately 2 a.m. on August 17th, senior management stepped in like characters from a bad spy thriller. An anonymous hand reached down and scrubbed the lab leak conclusion. In less than 5 days, a clear expert consensus was transformed into the sterile bureaucratic fog of unable to determine, a clean clinical erasure performed under the cover of darkness. St. Anthony's curated circle. Dr. Anthony Fauci, it emerged, had inserted himself directly into the intelligence process. He made sure the agency relied on a hand-picked list of independent experts, many of whom belonged to the Biological Sciences Experts Group and enjoyed generous funding streams from his own institute. The same scientists who, years earlier in 2015, had helped redefine gain-of-function research to dance around a federal funding pause, were now conveniently reviewing each other's work and selling it to the CIA as impartial consensus. A closed circuit of mutual protection dressed up as science, spying on their own team. Perhaps most chilling was the revelation that the CIA allegedly turned its surveillance apparatus inward. Erdman testified that the agency secretly monitored the computers and phones of its own analysts while they debated the lab leak hypothesis. When several analysts refused to endorse the 2 a.m. rewrite, the retaliation was swift and brutal. One contractor was terminated the very next day after speaking with the investigative team. And when the group was finally disbanded, the agency reportedly seized 40 boxes of documents, including sensitive material related to JFK and MK Ultra that was actively being declassified. They weren't just hiding current sins, they were protecting old ones too. The 5-page insult. In response to a unanimous congressional mandate demanding the full declassification of any and all relevant information, the administration delivered a jaw-dropping total of 5 heavily redacted pages, one of which was nothing more than a cover note. Erdman calmly revealed that the government was sitting on at least 2,000 pages in the first batch alone. He directly stated that 2 of the central claims in that pitiful public report, the denial of any progenitor virus and the denial of a research-related incident, were simply not true. The contempt for oversight was almost artistic in its boldness. Geopolitics above truth. The reason for this elaborate theater, according to the testimony, was coldly geopolitical. The lab leak findings were neutered because they risked creating a high-stakes confrontation with China right before a major presidential briefing. Even the final 2024 assessment was described as little more than a cleanup operation. A final polish so that senior officials could walk away with their pensions, reputations, and secrets preserved. The science they buried. Beneath the layers of spin, the ODNI's own 2023 report quietly admitted that Wuhan Institute of Virology researchers were using advanced techniques capable of leaving no traces of modification in coronaviruses. These experiments were being conducted in low-security BSL-2 labs. They were infecting humanized transgenic mice, and several WIV researchers fell ill in November 2019 with symptoms strikingly consistent with COVID-19. All of this was known, all of it was documented, and yet somehow none of it was considered important enough to seriously investigate. The search for a leash. The proposed solution now on the table, the Risky Research Review Act, aims to create an independent life sciences research security board with actual teeth. Board members would be barred from recent government employment, granted power to compel classified documents, and required to approve high-risk funding by majority vote. Whether this will be enough to break the closed circle of self-interest remains to be seen. As the hearing ended, one thing felt viscerally clear. When the institutions responsible for uncovering truth become its most sophisticated guardians of lies, external pressure and relentless sunlight remain the only reliable disinfectants. The full technical breakdown is available via the link in bio. And perhaps keep one eye on your devices. You never know who might still be watching.